Show.
Okay, play me this voicemail, Raymundo.
Hi, I have two questions. My first question is, I was wondering if Bobby's heard of a grounding sheet that you lay on your bed and you sleep with. I have massive sleep anxiety, and ever since I've gotten one, it really seems to help, so maybe something to look into. And my second question is, how do you find the right therapist? I know I need therapy, but I have a lot of anxiety about starting and just finding that right person. How do you know when you have the right therapist? Anything helps. Thanks.
I'll go first. Yeah, we've done sleep blankets, heavy weighted blankets and sheets, and it works a little bit, but most of the time I just end up feeling like I'm trapped, like somebody's holding me down. We had two at once, and it felt like it was 20 pounds. And then once it got warmer, I was just too sweaty. But yes, I think that weighted blanket, you say grounding sheet, I'm assuming we're talking about the same thing. I think it works great. And then you kind of get used to it. And then you almost have to start over and give it some time and not use it for a while and then use it again. It's almost like when you take medicine, you build a tolerance to it. It's kind of weird to think of it like that. But I feel like I built a tolerance to the weighted blanket. That's what we did too, because we just then bought another one and put it on.
Next thing you know, you're 3.
Next thing you know, I can't get up. I'm like, oh God, help.
Help me.
But I will say that yes, that is something that I would recommend for people to try. But it'll go, it's a 5-pound blanket, so you think it's 5 pounds on you. It's not. It's 5 pounds when it's all together.
Not
so it's a distributed 5 pounds.
Okay, that makes sense.
So when we got it and I put it on, I was like, this isn't 5 pounds. And it was heavier. But yeah, that's what, do you think that's a grounding sheet? Or because if not, weighted blankets are great. We've taken ours off for a bit because I built a tolerance to it. Same thing, Mike, or no?
I think grounding sheet is something different.
Yeah, so grounding mats, at least I
a
had
mat or
one
a sheet?
Well, I had a mat.
Okay, go ahead.
But it had these little pokey things in it that would poke my back. It's sort of like I was laying on it like a yoga mat, and it was grounding. I also plugged it in.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it sent
Sounds like a sex toy.
Yeah, a little bit. Plug it in.
All of a sudden,
great
next thing you know. Can I read to you what this says and tell me if it's what you had?
Yeah.
Because it could be the same thing, just different names.
Uh-huh.
So it was not a weighted blanket. So first I would say thank you for that. We tried a weighted blanket. I have not tried a grounding sheet. The weighted blanket, though, I think is great. So I'm going to move off that. A grounding sheet, also known as earthing sheets.
Yes, earthing. Yeah.
They connect your body to the Earth's natural electrical energy while you sleep. Okay, this is too frou-frou for me.
No, but you gotta plug it in.
Earth's energy has to be plugged in?
That's ironic.
Check that.
They utilize
like you plugged them in.
conductive materials like silver threads or carbon-infused fabric to transfer electrons from the Earth to your body.
Yep.
This sounds...
Guys.
Did it work for you?
I have to pull that thing out. I had one and I put it away when I moved, and now I'm like, wait, where this? I haven't thought of it in a long time, but I believe it's in a storage bin in my attic, and now I want to pull it out.
Yeah.
Roll it out, lay on it.
I don't know that it doesn't work, but me reading that it takes Earth's energy feels a bit like someone who says they're a healer. I can't prove they're wrong, but it's tough for me.
You know how you go grounding and you take your shoes off and you walk outside and you absorb
My feet are too sensitive
through your feet?
I don't walk barefoot.
Like you walk barefoot in the grass or maybe the sand.
My feet go, ow, ow, ow.
You're doing grounding. Well, this just gives you the opportunity to bring that to your bed.
But I don't have to plug it in if I'm barefoot. That's the weird part to me.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I guess they make sheets, but what I have for sure is a mat. And it's got little pokey things.
Would you recommend it? Not to me, but just to the
Can I bust it out of my attic and give it a go again?
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'm just squirrel trying to get a nut. What's up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thank you for recommending that. There may be listeners that want to try this out. And then the therapist thing, that's a great question because a lot of people don't do therapy because of the process to find a therapist. And I think the first time people do therapy, if they don't have people that have been to therapy, they just take the first one they get because they don't know really. It's like dating, and you need to find one that it's a vibe for sure, like your sensibilities and their sensibilities. Yeah, there is anxiety there if you don't have somebody that can walk you through it. But I would say you can talk on the phone to them and just say, hey, like, mine now, called them, said, hey, I'm thinking about coming to therapy. Like, what's your process? And then asked his education. And then you go in once, you pay, and you're like, did I like that? Because you may want it more religion-based. You may not want it religion-based. You may want to go to a psychiatrist. You may want to there are different levels as well. don't let that overwhelm you, because that is part of the process. I've also been a therapist that I didn't vibe with that were great therapists that I was just like, hey, I'm going to go to somebody else. I didn't say it like that. I emailed them. I was like, hey, I'm going to discontinue our relationship. do you have any other recommendations? And that happens to them. So that's not even that weird for them to hear that, because they also understand that it's very much a vibe. So I would encourage you, the hardest thing about it is just starting. It's like anything else in life. Anything else in life that's worth anything. The hardest part of it is just committing and starting. So get your phone. You could do BetterHelp. That also is awesome because you don't even have to go into an office. I'd say if you've never done therapy, this is not a commercial because I don't even know what our code is. I'm sure we can find it and it'll be some percentage off for a month. But BetterHelp is awesome because, and it's not even that therapy when you're not in the same room is bad, because Amy did hers here in the office. I do mine sometimes remote.
Virtually, yeah. And yeah, you do. It is a less time consuming way to figure out who you're going to connect with, because if you're on BetterHelp and you are doing virtually.
That's a great wade into it, I think, because I don't think 5 years ago I could have said that, because BetterHelp wasn't as good as it is now. I don't even know if it existed 5 years ago. So not a commercial, but here's the, if you do betterhelp.com/bones, that's what it is, 10% off the first month. So you can try BetterHelp. Eddie, BetterHelp.
Loved it.
It's great if you've never done therapy, even if you have and you're just very busy. But I would recommend, even on BetterHelp, wherever you go, it's okay for you to go, that didn't feel great.
And the therapist, most of them, yeah, like you were saying, Bobby, if they're a healthy therapist, which that's what you want, if you're not vibing with them, they're going to want to hear from you. Like, Kat,
they will actually help you move to somebody else if you're like, hey, I don't feel like you have to use words like communication style, so because they're humans too, their feelings will get hurt. You're like, hey, that kind of sucked for me. I wouldn't say that. I would say, hey, for me, that didn't feel like a communication style that is the most whatever you want to say. I would definitely use euphemisms to it. That didn't feel good. And then they'll help you find somebody else. Can you find somebody who is a bit more spiritual based? Can you find somebody who's a bit, they get it. So do it. What's that from?
Do it.
It's not a movie that's huge,
Oh,
but that's a
a
very
song?
famous part of. Well, you're thinking do it. Just do it. Do it.
Is that Vin Diesel? Who says
No.
do it?
No. Hold
Do
on.
it.
Hold on. Do it.
If anybody gets this, it'll be Lunchbox. You know it?
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. And I know that I've seen the movie once. I'll never watch it again. There's no need.
Is it
Do it.
Braveheart?
No.
No.
It's not. It's not big like that.
It's like American Pie.
White man can't
No,
jump.
It's become a meme probably more than people have seen the movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Ben Stiller. Say, do it.
Zoolander.
Do it.
Go.
And it might be dodgeball.
No.
But no. It's do it. Do it.
You'll get it.
Oh my gosh. How do I know it? Like, what? It might be Zoolander. I've never seen Zoolander.
Me either.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Maybe it's Mike and I are having a debate on what it is now. Do it.
Do it.
Because it is Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
And he has like, it's like a party.
So
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
Starsky and Hutch. Again, the movie,
Dang it.
not the biggest, but that scene is.
Yep.
Him and Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who is in Dukes of Hazzard? Johnny Knoxville?
And
Yeah.
Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott's in Righteous Gemstones this season as a full adult.
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, it's cool because I haven't seen him forever, and he looks like Stifler, but an adult.
Wasn't he in it last season?
Was he? If he was, I don't remember.
No, you're thinking of the assistant guy. Kind of looks like Stifler.
Which guy?
Who's the guy in Righteous Gemstones? He's the ex-drug addict. And he's reformed now. He works for the family.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a big actor, is he?
No, he's not a big actor, but he kind of looks like Stifler. Maybe that's who he's thinking
The
of.
boyfriend of?
No, not the dorky guy.
No.
Got the blonde hair and like the mullet kind
Yeah,
of
the
thing.
mullet guy
Yeah,
cut off.
The boyfriend.
Is it boyfriend?
Yeah, whatever. That guy wasn't a big actor, but was a really big lacrosse player. He's a really big lacrosse player.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Let's do 4, Ray, voicemail.
Bobby Bones, I'm calling for advice. Say you have an elementary school-aged student who did an activity in class where everybody pulled up their house from Google Maps as instructed by the teacher as a fun class activity. I can't determine how I feel about my house and address being shown to a class full of kids I don't know. It's just odd. I'm just wondering, am I alone in this? The parents on the show, what do you think? How would you address it? Because I'm like, what were you thinking? But yeah.
That's weird. I don't feel like there was anything. I don't feel like there was any bad intent or intent to like discover something. It's just weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so personal.
Yeah, as a parent, I have strong feelings about this. This is like,
I feel like she shouldn't have done it,
Yeah.
the teacher.
I hope the teacher learns that we
Yeah.
probably shouldn't do that. Because also now, I mean, sometimes at school, kids already aren't on an even playing field depending on their clothes or what they have.
Correct.
And then you pull up some kid's house versus another kid's house. And then instantly you kind of know the difference that might be happening there. And that's just so uncomfortable. Aside all the other things of like now you know exactly where somebody lives if you've got their address. But I feel like a lot of kids, if they're friends, they know. But then now you have like ammo against them.
That's a great point. I was just thinking it was too personal.
Yeah, no.
And I don't think the teacher was doing it for any reason other than she made a bad decision.
Yeah.
To use probably a tool that she uses to teach about something about neighborhoods or who knows. Not the best way to use that though. But that is a great point about. Yeah, we didn't have to do that. Luckily. But again, everybody was poor where I came from.
Yeah, but
So-
some schools
but,
are diverse,
yes,
and
absolutely.
you've got a very wealthy kid next to maybe
For sure.
someone that's not, and then it's instantly known like how different their lives are.
So what I would say to the parent that messaged us, I even think you could send an email, but not a mean one, because I don't think it was done for any reason to benefit the teacher or to make anyone look bad. But you could go, hey, I'm not super comfortable with that because, and I would even say what Amy said.
That's a really good reason.
Because I think that was a great point.
Yep.
And I don't think that teacher would look at that as, oh, this is an annoying parent. The teacher would probably maybe get defensive for a second, because we all tend to, but reflect and go, that's a great point. Because I didn't even think about that. I was just thinking about it's way too personal to be sharing with everybody where everybody lives. That's a good one.
Principals are really easy to talk to, though. Like, I didn't think so. Like, as a kid, you're like, oh, the principal are so scary. But as a parent, you talk to the principal and you tell them, like, reasonably, I'm not upset. It's probably not a good idea. They're really good at figuring stuff out like that.
But when you go to the teacher, because if you go to the principal, you're going over their head. And
Well-
I'd be mad if I was a teacher and you're going above me.
Well, not that. It's just because maybe other teachers are doing it, too. So you kind of want to cover the whole thing. Like, let's not do that at school.
I don't think I'd go to the principal.
Really?
I don't think I'd go to anybody's boss over them, regardless of the situation, if I can go to them. Because then them is going to feel like, oh, you told on me, and then hold it against your kid.
Dang,
That's what-
teachers, you can do that?
No, they didn't do that, Eddie. I'm just saying that's what I would. I'm not even saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Maybe our principal's really cool like that. I don't know. Well, you can just talk to them. And they understand. They're like, okay. And you got to tell them, too, like, I'm not upset. If you tell them I'm upset.
if they don't sell you out, I think that's excellent. If you go to the principal and you're like, I will tell you this, but don't tell the teacher it's me. But the don't tell usually
Oh,
doesn't
yeah,
work
that's not- yeah.
because that's the perfect scenario is to talk to a cool principal, like you said.
Yeah.
But if it goes from any boss to the person you're complaining about and they say who complained, sometimes the ramifications of that are worse than if you'd have just gone to the person, but especially that your kid is involved and they could hold it against your kid.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah. So I guess it depends how cool the principal is. But
Ours
that's
is pretty
that's a
cool.
good point too. Give me Brandon from Northern Illinois, please.
You guys did a segment, people that Bobby's had conflicts with, and I knew about the other two. Kevin James got brought up in there, and I never heard that story. So wondering what that is about, and then also I did a little Googling on it, and it looks like Ray had something to do with it. So if you could, tell us the story on what happened there with Kevin James. Thanks, love the show.
You got it. So here's the thing. It wasn't even really that I got into fights with them. We were playing a game. What do these three celebrities have in common? And in the game, it was Kevin James, Hank Williams Jr.,
Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams. And I don't remember the exact answer, but it was like interview fights on the show or something. Controversial interviews on the show. So just to walk through all three of them pretty quickly. Hank Williams Jr., it is a cringeworthy, one of my finest moments. Hilarious now.
It was awesome.
Because I love Hank Jr. Loved his music. He came in. I didn't know they told him he couldn't smoke in the building. He was already on one because of that.
He had a cigar.
But he was also like taking it out on me. And I have no room for anybody's bullcrap. I don't care who it is. But I didn't know that's why he was mad. I thought he was just cranky. And also, I don't want to be disrespectful. And I was like, hey, you really don't have to be here. And he's like, all right. But he also wasn't mean. It also,
wasn't.
there was nothing. We weren't really fighting. I think both of us were just like, we're good.
Uh-huh.
Like, you don't want to be here. I didn't know why. He thought that maybe I was the one telling him he couldn't I don't know. But he just abruptly was off.
Yeah, like the minute you gave him the out, he's like, okay.
Yeah. And
He started walking out.
I respected it, and I thought no less of him. Mm-hmm. I was just like, that's a dude who knows what he wants.
Love it.
Yeah, I have no like shame over that. And if he said I want to come in again, absolutely, come on back in. That would be awesome.
And that's still on our YouTube page if you want to watch it. It's awesome.
It crushes. People will message me that randomly and go, they'll go to me, have you seen the interview you did with Hank Williams Jr.? And I'm like, yeah, I did it.
I lived it.
Yeah, I lived it. So I love that one, but it was controversial. I think people thought it was worse than it was because there was no like animosity during or even after. I think all of us were just confused. And I don't want anybody to be here that doesn't have to be here. And also, I'm not going to grovel at anybody's feet, and he's not going to grovel at my feet. It was all good. It was like, you want to go? And he went. That was fun.
And then he gave some good answers once like the interview started.
Yeah.
He started yelling stuff.
Yeah. He just
Fell
went,
off a mountain.
yeah, you heard. Almost died.
Did it hurt? Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah. What do you think? So that one was fun. Wendy Williams, not fun. Similar-ish. Wendy Williams comes in. This is a long time ago. This is over a decade ago. She was in town doing something, but she had written a book too. And in her book, she had some stories in her book. And I wanted to ask her about some of those stories in her book. And she gets upset with me because I'm not just talking about her appearance in town, which was never told to me. Like if she comes in, you can only talk about her appearance at the mall. Otherwise, I would just have not done the interview. And I wasn't doing anything at all to be bothersome or to be outrageous or to be clickbaity. I asked a question about Tupac, and she said, "You'll never be me." And I thought, okay, cool. We can be done here. You can go. I mean, so she left. Very Hank style, but she was way more aggressive. And then her husband lingered to, quote, have a word with me after. Who knows what that means?
Did you all have your word?
Heck no. I snuck out the back. I ain't trying to get beat up. Yeah, that one was not good. I left that really not liking her or it, meaning that crew. But, you know, things happen. Sometimes people are just having bad days, and it manifests itself in different ways. The other is Kevin James. I did not do that interview. Ray did that interview, and Ray, for some reason, went nuclear on him, meaning, hey, man, what's up? Did they confuse you for the panda? Because it was in, like, he was in doing a zoo movie. Yeah. And his questions, and I think Ray was trying to be funny, but Ray was also brand new to him working with the show. So I think he was just trying, and he tried in a direction that wasn't received well, although I wouldn't have received it well either if I were Kevin James. And then
That's so funny.
they fought, and then it was over.
Why did you have Ray do the interview? Like, do you remember?
It was,
It was
like,
like-
1 p.m. or something.
Okay.
2
I
p.m.
remember how he started the interview. He was like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, Ray was just trying to do some kind of shtick.
He said, pinging from there to there to there, pinging to Kevin James at the zoo.
Yeah. He's just trying to be funny, and sometimes I've done it too. You try to be funny, it doesn't come off funny at all. It actually comes off, and Kevin James got really mad.
He said, does anybody ever mistake you for the panda?
He asked that. What an idiot.
Yeah,
asked
it
him
was
He asked him
rough. That part's rough.
And then he hangs up, and Ray goes, "You there, man?"
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we lost him.
I completely understood why Kevin James got mad, and I understood what Ray was trying to do, but it was like, hey, let's not be so aggressive. Yeah, so that was
That
it.
was hysterical.
Thank you for that question, though.
What was the lunchbox one? Didn't you have one with the?
Oh, Wiz, man.
Oh, Wiz Khalifa.
Khalifa.
But
man.
Lunchbox wasn't doing anything purposefully. He just kept calling him Wiz Khalifi.
He was brand new, man. I didn't know who he was. And
And you made that evident.
And he goes, Khalifa, and Lunchbox again goes, so Wiz Khalifi. Khalifa, man. He just kept messing up his name.
yeah, and then you want to know what I asked him? They got him really mad. I said, "Hey, man, you know this song Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow." I was like, "It's all about Pittsburgh, man." I look at pictures online, and it looks like it sucks.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like that. And then I asked him about how do you control yourself with all the groupies?
But his girl was with him.
Yeah,
Oh,
Amber Rose. He was
no.
dating Amber Rose, and she was in the room. And he goes, "It's the guys that don't know how to act." And that was the end of the interview.
So if you notice now, for the most part, I do the interviews.
Yeah.
For the most
See
part.
that now.
Yeah, he didn't really want, and he didn't want to take a picture with me afterwards. And he told our boss I could never interview him again.
Khalifa, man.
I remember that.
Ted Sarandis, the CEO of Netflix, has defended his company's reputation, saying the streamer is saving Hollywood by securing an audience for content which would otherwise disappear, mostly talking about movies. Speaking of the Time 100 Summit in New York on Wednesday, he said Netflix was providing a much-needed service to those people, for instance, in rural areas, who want to see movies but can't go to the movies. He described Netflix as a very consumer-focused company. We deliver the program to you in a way that you want to watch it. Declining box office takings force the questions of what is the consumer trying to tell us? Quote, they want to watch movies at home. That's from The Guardian.
Talking to you.
I want to watch movies at home. I don't want to go to the theater. I think there is a market for people that want to go to the theater, but that market is a sliver now because we do have the option to watch a lot at home. But I think it's all about what kind of experience you're looking for. I don't want to go to the movie theater. Movie Mike wants to go to the movie theater.
I love going to the movie theater.
And there are going to be less theaters, but I think the theaters that will exist have to perform and have more resources than just sitting in a seat and watching a movie now. Like it needs to be more of an experience in some way than just sitting in a chair and watching a movie. Would you agree?
I would agree to some extent.
If they want to keep people coming, because otherwise, most people don't want to go somewhere and watch something with people they don't know who are being loud in a room just because the speakers are louder and the screen's a little bigger.
The recliner's nice.
And now that's something new. That would be a resource that's new,
Yeah.
a leaning back recliner.
Or they're serving alcohol now. You can have a beer while you're watching your movie.
problematic, but okay.
I would say Netflix is not saving movies. Their original movies are, for the most part, terrible.
Oh,
Get him, Mike.
This is the CEO, though, so he
Whoa.
needs to
Like
really
he's
gas
saying,
himself
like, oh,
up.
we're saving movies. Like original Netflix movies suck. Like those would do terribly in theaters.
Hey, Bird Box. I like Bird Box.
That
Oh,
was
that
like
was good.
they've
That
had
was
like
good.
2 cultural moments. That was like the first big one. Other than that, their original movies are terrible. But I think it's like the older movies that they get that they license. That's people being able to watch those at home. That's adds value. But other than that, I could do without Netflix movies.
Haters in the building.
Did you also see that they're gonna on the closed captions? They're gonna get rid of you can get rid of the sound part where it says like phone ringing,
Yeah.
or footsteps coming,
Or raspberries.
blowing raspberries,
Yeah.
whatever.
I never knew that's what that was.
Yeah.
Another one is clicking teeth. So I know what that is.
Or tongue.
Or yeah,
Clicked tongue.
what? Yeah, all that. But it says that I'm like, oh, that's how you would describe that. Toddlers need a certain number of toys to be happy. Expert claims. Turns out your toddler doesn't need a mountain of plushies and plastic cars and magnetic mayhem. They just need, this is from the New York Post, blank toys. Eddie,
Blank toys.
blank amount of toys.
Oh, I would minimal. I would say toys, real toys, 5 toys.
Lunchbox.
I had 10.
4. According to Dr. Alexia Metz, an occupational therapist and mom of twins, toddlers thrive when there's less to play with, not more. I like to use an example of Netflix or any streaming service. When we have 100 options and we don't know what to do, it confuses us. And we
Yep.
don't know because then we're always like, maybe the other one will be better. So when we have 3, we settle pretty quick. We dedicate ourselves to it and we focus. But if there's 500 and we're not fully sure, I don't know. I'm only kind of feeling this. Maybe I'd like something else better. Or you just don't even go to any of them. You just keep scrolling. So I think that's the same. Toddlers, toys, us, streaming.
I think another
Comparison.
thing that's good for kids too, toddlers and up to teens, is using your imagination.
Okay, I agree, but
And
that's hard.
but if
You
you,
can't
the less
force a kid though.
I know, but
Use a toy for imagination.
well, yeah. So
No
you get,
toys,
so you
only
give them
imagination.
nothing.
But
So
what
you
you're
give
saying
them
is like give them a
nothing.
cardboard box and say, make a toy out of it.
Yeah, like just forces them into being like creating something out of boredom, and then they are curious and they exercise that muscle, and then it's easier for them to be silly and goofy and create.
I'm telling you,
creative.
what makes me so upset is like Christmas,
Oh, yeah, I know
they'll
what
like
you're saying.
unwrap, whatever, 20 toys. And then by like the afternoon, they're playing with a cardboard box and like pushing each other in it.
Yep.
Right.
They don't even play with the toys.
Don't care about the toys,
That's
man.
like-
But they
same
give up
thing
on the
with
box.
cats.
But after like the next day, the box doesn't exist anymore.
Sure.
They go back to the toys.
Sure, then you can get another box.
But I would bet that doesn't work. I agree. If you could just go, but once you give kids or anybody anything, and you can use adults or kids, then you revert back to, no, we're just gonna do imagination. You don't really do imagination because you had steak the whole time, but now you're just gonna do bologna.
Yeah.
Bologna's not near as fun. Now you could do steak with bologna. Like I was a big imagination thing. I didn't have any toys. But if you were to give me a Nintendo and then go like, no, we'd rather you just use your imagination. Imagination sucks. So if like that's how you raise your kid without a bunch of toys, and it's like we'll give you, but if you give them toys, you really can't. And you can do this with adults too. You can't then go, yeah, they want to be more of an imagination household.
They're used to the toys.
Kids, man.
And the toys, man. And like Kevin who works here, he was just like, he's got a registry for his baby. I'm like, dude, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You're not going to use any of this stuff. And the baby's not going to play with any of those toys.
Well,
None of them.
But that's not. He has practical things on there too, like swaddles.
I know, we were talking about toys. Like just and when you have a baby.
Did he have
you don't-
imagination on there?
Yeah, that's the main
You
one.
can buy some imagination.
Hey, you know what I meant by that.
What were we saying?
No, you just think when you have your first baby, you're like, oh, let's just get all the toys and they'll play with all of it. Like even like the little walkers or whatever. Like they don't use any of it. They use their
I
imagination.
mean, a walker might.
Yeah, a walker's pretty
That
important.
is like baby food.
Those are good.
Car seat?
A bouncer, like a bouncer, is really important.
Like what was the one we used to put our kids on lunchbox? That's like I think they got recalled.
Oh,
the
yeah,
baby
the thing
Bjorn?
on the
You would sit them on it and like
on the
they couldn't-
counter.
They were forced to sit there because they couldn't fall over. It was pretty genius. But I mean, like after a week, you never use that thing.
You guys be sure to go to our YouTube page and check out Ray and his. Oh, it's gone. What's that game called?
Charades.
Charades challenge. Yeah. Thanks.
Pretty
We're
good.
not gonna say anything else about it. Go to our YouTube page. You're probably watching it on the YouTube page now if you're watching live. But if you listen to the podcast, Ray had 30 minutes to get 40 charades answers and for playoff basketball tickets. Go listen to it. Check it out. We will see you guys on.